Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor-elect, and hey, Chicago! It's great to be here with all of you. For those of you from out of town, this weather is what we have really all year round here in Chicago, so welcome. Thank you to everyone that's standing behind me and many people that are here in the audience for all of the amazing work that you did to make this moment possible. And I really am grateful to all of you. It's no secret that the Midwest is key to holding the White House and electing Democrats up and down the ticket in 2024. Now, after all, Chicago and the entire Midwest looks like America and is the capital at the heart of the nation. Illinois is home to a bustling metropolis, a strong rural tradition, thriving suburbs, not to mention a long-standing history rooted in civil rights and workers' rights and reproductive rights. We were the first state to ratify the 13th Amendment ending slavery and the first state to ratify the 19th Amendment guaranteeing women the right to choose. Vote. We should pass an amendment guaranteeing women the right to choose, I might add. But we are an ideal backdrop here in Chicago for President Biden and Vice President Harris to tell their own stories to the American people. We are a reflection of the nation and the policies that lift up working families. A convention in Chicago, the center of the blue wall of key states like Wisconsin and Michigan and Minnesota, will show that Democrats don't take this region for granted, that this is key to victory in 2024. Democrats have proven that we will fight for our vibrant cities, our dynamic suburbs, our thriving small towns, and our abundant farmlands. We are working to deliver a future in which every American can thrive. This is an exciting day for Chicago, but also for the Midwest and the entire nation. And we look forward to seeing you here to celebrate with us next year in August. And now I'd like to invite a representative from the United Center to come up here to give Chairman Harrison a token of our appreciation. Chairman, come on up. Chairman Harrison and I would be happy to take questions from members of the media.
Dana, do you want to start?
Oh, sure.
I'll hold it.
Oh,
Marianne Everett, I see the back.
I think I have the microphone, Governor. It's Dana Kozlov at CBS 2 News. Hi. Question. I remember 1996, and the city had to spruce itself up quite a bit to host the convention back then. So what sort of infrastructure improvements do you think will be necessary in the city prior to the convention? How much will that cost, and who will pay for it?
Well, I want to say, and I'll invite the mayor up, but I want to say very importantly, because of President Biden, the infrastructure dollars are there for us to make the investments that are enormously important to make this city the greatest it's ever been. Mayor?
Well, remembering 1996 and the investments that were made, particularly along Madison Avenue, to really make sure that the route to the United Center was one that we could all be proud of. Now you look at it today, and I think the Fulton Market District was still very much a meatpacking district back in those days. But look at it now, it's got to be one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. There are cranes all around. People are working. We will obviously make sure that we get done what needs to get done. But because of the work that was really initiated by the Daley administration in preparation for the 1996 convention, a lot of the work around the infrastructure was already done. Whatever is necessary, this is time where we sit down and really look at the specifics around what's going to be needed. That's a conversation that will be had with the DNC. We'll start it we'll pass the torch to the mayor-elect. We don't want to have specific dollar amounts that we're going to put on the table today, but whatever is necessary, we're going to get it done.
Governor, could you give us better details about what guarantees you offered financially to make sure that this does not cost too much for the city if it does run that 90 million as it's estimated? What are you guaranteeing?
You're talking about me personally? What I guaranteed is that I and the committee that we put together will work extraordinarily hard to raise all of the dollars necessary. You know, Chicago was the city that broke even at the Democratic National Convention in 1996. It's been hard for conventions all over the country, Democratic and Republican, to break even. It's a difficult thing. But here in Chicago, we have a business community and a very giving community that wants to stand up for the best things for the city of Chicago. We've already received some commitments even since yesterday to make that happen.
Yes, Governor, I'm Latif with On Air Daily News. As you know, we have a large homeless population.
Yes.
And I know it's difficult to decide what to do, but are we going to do something that will have them safely housed as opposed to just shoved out of the way so people don't see them?
Well, I'm going to ask the mayor to join, but I'll also say we have a Home Illinois program that's in our current proposed budget. We're hoping to pass in May that'll help us provide not just temporary but permanent homes for people.
And this is not going to be what, frankly, you've seen in other places around the world, where suddenly the homeless people are swept off the street as the world turns its eyes to Chicago. We have a challenge with homelessness, no question. Not the same as cities across the country, but we work hard every single day. And as you know, there's a number of reasons why people end up on the street. It's not, could be financial, could be because of mental health or substance abuse. It could be any combination of the above. But we have an incredibly dedicated team. We put more money into the budget this year to make sure that we had resources and that we had staffing. We work at this every single day, and it will be no different. So I'm confident that we will continue the hard work to make sure that all of our residents, our people in Chicago, have a hand that's reaching out to them to get them into permanent supportive housing. That's a work that we have done throughout my 4 years, and we will continue to do that work.
Greg Hines of Cranes. Mayor Lightfoot, Mayor-elect Johnson, security for these kinds of events is difficult at any time, but we live in unusual times. There's mass shootings in America almost every day. Chicago has had some problems that you're both aware of with murders and other things. Tell us what you can about how we're going to keep the people attending this convention, the delegates, the media, everybody, keep them safe.
Well, we're going to continue the hard work that we've done. We're this year over year, down 15% in homicides, 16% in shootings, 20% down in carjackings. And yes, media, please report back truth about where we are in the city of Chicago. And look, I can't get into obviously all the specifics about the plans, but we're going to be working hand in glove as we would always do, and you would expect with our federal partners, with the Secret Service, with the FBI and others to make sure that the convention sites themselves are incredibly secure. We will make sure that we go through a credentialing process to make sure that the right folks are in there, meaning the delegates, and that they have safe passage wherever they go in our city. That is something I'm not concerned about. Obviously, we need to be diligent, but just as we are, we're all the large-scale events that come to the city of Chicago, whether it's Sueños, whether it's Lollapalooza. This year, NASCAR is coming. So we always work and with an eye toward safety and security, and we will do everything that we can in terms of the convention to make sure that we pull it off without a hitch. I don't have any concerns about that. The team understands that safety and security is a primary consideration. We had a lot of conversations about what the needs were. Those conversations will continue, but what the convention delegates and others will see, members of the press, is that our city is beautiful, our city is safe, and our city is one of the greatest cities on the globe.
So just quickly, a better, stronger, safer Chicago for the people of Chicago obviously is the work that we will continue to build on. As far as the convention is concerned, we're going to collaborate and work with all of the entities that are available to us to ensure a very healthy, strong, vibrant, city. But as you all know, as the governor has already expressed and what Mayor Lightfoot has articulated, safe cities are safe when we have investments. So the Democratic National Convention coming to the city of Chicago is one of the embodiments of one of the best investments you can make. And that's why this is not just about, certain neighborhoods benefiting from this convention. And I'm just very proud to announce, though, too, in case you all missed it, the United Center is on the west side of Chicago. A lot of good things coming out of the west side. And so that type of apparatus is going to continue as Mayor Lord Lightfoot and I work together during this transition.
Hi, Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. My question is for the chairman and the governor. What do you think the biggest difference maker between Chicago's bid and Atlanta's bid? What put Chicago over the top?
Well, listen, I'm not going to pit. We've gone through the process of looking at the pros and cons of every city, and all three cities are fantastic. When you look at the history, all three cities, the three that were finalists, all held a convention. It was 88 in Atlanta, it was 92 in New York, and it was 96 in Chicago. If I could have given out 3 bids for the 24, the 28, and the 32, I would have, because each one of those cities was very unique. They had their own stories that they could tell, and it was a very, very, very hard choice. But in the end, we chose Chicago, and I think Chicago is going to be a fantastic host for the city. But listen, personally in Atlanta, my mama lives in Atlanta. She wanted the grandkids for a whole week. That's what she didn't want to attend any of the events. She just wanted the grandbabies at her house for a whole week. So I told the governor I got to make it up to my mama. But listen, in the end of the day, Atlanta's a great place. The DNC, Greg, I know you write for Atlanta. The DNC has already helped Atlanta and Georgia because it is now in the early state window, which is going to be a huge economic boon for the state of Georgia for generations to come. And so we are invested in New York, we're invested in Georgia, we're invested in Texas, and of course, having the convention here shows that we are investing in Illinois as well.
I'll just say that I'm cordially inviting your mother to be my guest, my special guest here in Chicago. I'll help take care of the grandkids with her.
I'll help pay for that.
So, Craig Dellamore from WBBM News Radio. I know the intention is there, but what kinds of things can be done to make sure that the benefits of this convention reach beyond downtown and make it out into the neighborhoods?
Well, anybody who knows me knows that one of the things that we were very focused on is making sure that we made equity and inclusion real and manifest in concrete, tangible ways. So the commitment that we made to the DNC is that minority and women-owned businesses were going to be prominently featured, that our workers from Chicago were going to benefit, and we expect that promise to be made manifest. This isn't going to be a convention where the people who profit don't live in Illinois, don't live in Chicago. This is going to be a Chicago featured event, and our small businesses, our workers are absolutely going to be benefiting front and center.
Thanks, that's all we have time for.
I want to add something quick on that as well. One of the things that is really, really important as a former ninth grade social studies teacher, and I know the mayor-elect has spent some time in the classroom. I remember I went back to my high school to teach, which was in my hometown. And one of my students, I taught world geography, but one of my students couldn't find South Carolina on the map and didn't know where Orangeburg was in the South Carolina map. There are kids that I'm sure even here in Chicago, because there are kids in South Carolina and kids all across this country who have never left their neighborhood, who've never been exposed to all of the benefits that the world can provide, that this country can provide. One of the things that is going to be a driving force for us at this convention, the convention that I chair, the convention that's going to be in the state of Illinois, the convention that's going to be here in the city of Chicago, is to make sure that we are reaching out to those kids so that they get an opportunity to be exposed like I was when just watching it on television, and it changed the course of my life. We want to make sure that the benefits of this convention also can reach out to these kids and help to change and form the course of their lives as well. So we will be looking at creative ways. We're going to be talking to community organizations. We'll be working with the leadership, not only the elected, but the community leadership, to find ways that this is a convention not just in the United Center, but it's a convention that is all over the city of Chicago, but the state of Illinois and the Midwest as well. So I'm looking forward to that challenge, but I'm looking forward to the opportunities that I think is going to present to the next generation of leaders in this country.